The Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership is being bestowed on these esteemed recipients for their lifelong service and dedication to the welfare of humanity, and for applying Maharshi's technologies of consciousness to eliminate the suffering of the people of their countries. We had wanted to present these awards in person to the recipients here at the international capital of the global country of world peace in the Netherlands. But due to the pandemic and difficulties in traveling, we are presenting these awards on this special online ceremony in the presence of Maharaj Adhiraj Rajaram and the recipients connected in their home countries. And we are very delighted that they could all be with us today. And here we see on screen the 6 recipients that we are honoring this year. I would now like to introduce them. They are from top left to right, if you can show the pictures again. His Excellency Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, the former Minister of Education of India. His Excellency Made Mangku Pastika, Senator of the Parliament of the United States of Indonesia and former Governor of Bali. His Excellency Dr. Deepak Prakash Baskota, the former State Home Minister of the Government of Nepal and President of the Nepal Maharshi Foundation for Vedic Culture. Dr. Imam Umir Ahmed Ilyasi, the Chief Imam of the All India Imam Organization. And Achar Nyai, Dr. Maichi Anampai Pasakchai, Buddhist nun and founder and director of the Dhammajarani Vitaya School for at-risk girls in Thailand. And finally, Padre Gabriel Antonio Mejia Montoya, Catholic priest and founder of the Joharas Calaret Foundation Schools for at-risk children in Colombia. So these are the 6 recipients of the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership we are honoring today. And also connected today around the world for this celebration are the senior administrators of the global country of world peace, Rajas, ministers, national directors, and hundreds of leaders of Maharshi's organizations throughout the world. We are also very fortunate to have the presence of the Maharshi Vedic Pundits in India and here at the international capital of the global country of world peace in Meru, the Netherlands, who will be giving blessings of the Vedic tradition during this ceremony. So now I'd like to invite the Raja of Invincible India, Raja Harris Kaplan, to introduce the Maharshi Vedic Pundits here at Meru to open this ceremony with the traditional lighting of the light and Vedic recitation in honor of our 6 award recipients today.
Thank you, Dr. Patterson. It's a great honor for me, assembled here with leaders from around the world, to be part of a ceremony which recognizes 6 such outstanding individuals. As is such custom, I'm now inviting our dear Maharshi Vedic Pundits here in Meru, Holland, to now light this light. Lighting the light Lighting this light is symbolic of pure consciousness, the light of life for all mankind. And it's being lit in honor of these 6 outstanding individuals we're honoring today. These people who have repeatedly demonstrated enlightened leadership throughout their whole lives. They've done so much to eliminate suffering of the people in their nations and to awaken pure consciousness in the lives of the people through their living example and by providing Maharshi's knowledge and programs of consciousness to so many.
Om Chandrama Manaso Jataschakcho Surjo Ajayata Srotradvayuscha Pranascha Mukha Dagnirajayata Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksha Mangalaya Tanohari. Om Namaschandikaye Markandeya Uvacha Vishuddha Jnana Dehaya Trivedi Divya Chakshute Sreya Prapti Nimittaya Namasomardadharine Sarvametadvijaneyan mantranamabhikilakam Sopikshemamavapnoti satatan japyatakparaha Siddhyantyucchatanadini vastuni sakalanyapi Eterastu vatam devi stotramatrena siddhyate Namantro no sadam tatra nakinchedapi vidyate Vina japyena siddhyeta sarvamucchatanadikam Samagrannyapi siddhyanti lokashankam haraha Kritva nimantrayamasa sarvamevamidam shubham Stotram vai chandikayastu tatcha guptam chakarasaha Samapirna cha punyasya tam yathavan niyantranam Sopikshemamavapnoti sarvamevanna samshayaha Krishnayam va chaturdashyam ashtamyam va samahitaha Dadati pratigannati nanyathai sa prasidati Ittam rupena kilena mahadevena kilitam Yoniskilam vidhayena nityan japati samsputam Sasiddhas sagaras मनुष्योऽपि गन्धर्वो जायते नरः न चैवाप्यतस्तस्य भयं क्वापि हजायते नापमृत्युवसंयाति मृतो मोक्षमवाप्नुयात् ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत न कुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पन्नामिदं प्रारभ्यते बुधैः सौभाग्यादि च यत्किञ्चिद्दृश्यते ललनाजने तत्सर्वं तत्प्रसादेन तेन जाप्यमिदं शुभम् शनैस्तु जप्यमानेऽस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पत्तिरुच्चकैः भवत्येव समग्रापि ततः प्रारभ्यमेव तात ऐश्वर्यं यत्प्रसादेन सौभाग्यारोग्यसम्पदः शत्रुहानिः परो मोक्षस्तु यते सा न किञ्जनैः जय गुरुदेव।
Thank you, Maharshi Vedic Pundits and Raja Harris, for these beautiful blessings of the Veda for the opening of our ceremony today, which we will now begin. To introduce this very special award, the Medal of Enlightened Leadership was conceived of by His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, who is the founder of the Global Country of World Peace. And he conceived of it to express his appreciation and gratitude to great leaders throughout the world who have applied his Vedic science and technology of consciousness to eliminate the suffering of the people and create greater peace in the lives of individuals and in their nations. And now we see on the screen the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership, which is being awarded today. And the design of the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership was personally directed by Maharshi. It features in the center the image of Sri Ram, the embodiment of enlightened rulership, and which resides in the brilliance of the sun, flanked by lotuses, the symbols of knowledge of enlightenment. And it's surrounded by the words enlightened leadership. A brilliant golden ribbon flows from the top with the word invincibility on the very top of the medal. Now, when the first rendering of the medal, designed in 3D, was presented to Maharshi, he was very pleased with it. But when he saw the lotuses were made wide open, he asked that they be changed to only be partly opened, because he explained the knowledge is not yet fully unfolded. And we have seen beautifully over the last years how Maharaja is continuing to unfold this knowledge, pure knowledge of consciousness for everyone in the world. So presenting this medal to you today fulfills Maharshi's wish to express his gratitude and to recognize you for your lifelong dedication and enlightened leadership to help spread the knowledge that will raise mankind up to enjoy the rising sunshine of the age of enlightenment and to create heaven on earth. We will now introduce each of the distinguished leaders being honored today, one at a time. And a representative of Maharaja is present with each of the recipients in their country to present the medal to each one. First, though, it's a very great honor to invite Maharaj Adiraj Rajaram to say a few words of introduction for the ceremony today, just before we present the medals. His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi crowned Dr. Tony Nader to be Maharaj Adiraj Rajaram, the first ruler of the global country of world peace. And he held Maharaja to be the greatest scientist of this age, who has demonstrated that the human physiology is just the expression of the Veda and Vedic literature, which Maharishi brought to light is just the internal dynamics of consciousness. Therefore, Rajaram discovered that the human body is made of consciousness, and indeed, the whole universe is just consciousness. And recently, Rajaram, Dr. Tony Nader, has published a book, One Unbounded Ocean of Consciousness, which gives the scientific explanation of how everything in the universe comes out of consciousness and is the expression of consciousness. So Maharaja, would be our great joy to hear your reflections on this award ceremony today, and we'll go ahead with presenting the medals to each of the recipients.
Jai Gurudev. It is our great honor to bestow on behalf of the Vedic tradition, on behalf of Maharishi, Gurudev, and the entire Vedic tradition, the tradition of knowledge of consciousness, supreme knowledge of life in its true fullness, to recipients that are extraordinary and exceptional. They want the well-being of every individual in their surrounding and for the whole world. They have demonstrated their desire to use the technologies that will bring life on earth to be a life of peace, happiness, prosperity, health, well-being, through their different activities in education, politics, in teaching, in spiritually uplifting the people of their communities and others, and have recognized the importance of the inner values. In our world today, there is a lot of emphasis on outer aspects, which is very nice and important, but we do not recognize as much the importance of the sap that nourishes the entire field of life, the inner value, the values of consciousness, the values of being, which is the unifying value and the value that brings light to remove darkness and allows people to see in a more complete way, in a more clear way, the meaning of their life and how to guide them into maximum achievement and maximum fulfillment, even in the outer value. This is what Maharishi called 200% of life, 100% inner, 100% spiritual, which is within, and that 100% spiritual manifests itself in the growth and development and fullness on the outer values also. So no aspect of life is left behind. And that is the technology from the field of being, from the field of true knowledge, which in Sanskrit means Veda. Veda means knowledge, and that is total knowledge of consciousness, total knowledge of life. And we are so honored and blessed to have such great individuals who I will let their glory be presented to some extent by our colleagues and friends who are participating, because it would take hours to talk about the achievements of each of them. I have had personally the honor and pleasure to meet with them either in person or through different means of communication nowadays, through the social media and other ways. And I am myself, as are all those who come close to them or meet with them, absolutely enamored with their personalities, with their greatness, with their desire to fulfill the purpose of all the sages, of all the teachers, to bring health and happiness and fullness through spiritual development and unfolding life to its maximum for the benefit of every individual and every society. So thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting this medal as a recognition of your greatness, your achievement, and your vision. All glory to all of you. All glory to the tradition that has given us this knowledge of perfection of life. Jai Guru Dev.
Thank you very much, Maharaja, for these beautiful remarks, extolling the greatness of those who are receiving the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership today, who all in their own way have served the whole humanity so beautifully in eliminating suffering in their parts of the world. The first distinguished leader to receive the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership today is His Excellency Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank of India. And I would now like to invite Raja Luis Alvarez, Minister of Law and Order of the Global Country of World Peace, to introduce His Excellency Dr. Pokhriyal.
Thank you, Dr. Patterson. It's a great joy for us in the presence of Maharajaji, embodying all the Vedic tradition, to honor His Excellency, Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Niskanji. And in order to do it, first, we'd like to present you a little video about his lives and accomplishments, which gives you a little taste of his incredible activity, and then we will just say a few words of his offering in this Guru Purnima. Please, let's see now the video about Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Niskanji, please.
Ramesh Pokhriyal was born in a very poor family in the Himalayas. He studied in Sanskrit Mahavidyalaya and became an acharya. He then started his career as a teacher. He was first elected to political office in the state of Uttar Pradesh.
So one of the newest entrants to the Modi cabinet is Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. He has been handed the charge of the Union Human Resource Development Ministry. He's the former Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, one of the youngest Chief Ministers at that point of time. He's handled several portfolios for the state, from health, family welfare, science, languages, various departments. He currently represents Haridwar in the Lok Sabha, and he will be taking over the Human Resource Development Ministry.
Shri Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank.
He has written novels, stories, poems, and travelogues. In total, he has authored 103 books in Hindi, some of which have been translated to English or other languages. More than 30 people are doing PhD research on his books. Ramesh Pokhriyalji has been honored by more than 15 countries. Since the beginning of his career, cultivated in the Himalayan culture, he has always been a great devotee of Vedic culture. As such, he had the opportunity to spend time with the Jyotirmat Shankaracharya tradition and has deep appreciation for Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. After 30 years, the minister created a national educational policy approved by the parliament, which puts together the most advanced scientific education with the ancient Vedic values of India. This new revolutionary education policy was praised by MIT, Harvard, Cambridge, Michigan, and more than 100 other institutions in the world. As part of this new policy in education, the Honorable Ramesh Pokhriyalji launched a program called Veda for World Peace, and also the Dr. Tony Nader Award of Veda for World Peace, and promoted a number of conferences of the most distinguished universities of India on the subject, which have been seen by millions of students, professors, and teachers in the universities and schools of India.
Basis of Vedic values. Veda and World Peace is a great initiative by Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. 3 international webinars has been done on Veda for World Peace under guidance of Dr. Nishank and Dr. Tony Nader, President of Maharishi Organization worldwide. It was the first time that more than 5 lakh people, including people from more than 50 countries and vice chancellors and research students of universities abroad joined this great thought.
जबकि ये संक्रमण काल चल रहा है,
giving the most succinct overview of Veda and its role in establishing world peace in the webinar.
डॉक्टर टोनी नादर और राजन लुईस के सहयोग से हम वेद और विश्व शांति के पूरे अभियान में निकले हुए हैं। ये वेद एक नई ऊर्जा को प्रदान कर सकते हैं और जो आप ये काम कर रहे हैं ये निश्चित रूप में जो विश्व सुख, शांति और समृद्धि और प्रगति ये जो 4 आधार हैं।
This program that puts together the discoveries of Dr. Tony Nader of the 40 aspects of the Veda and human physiology as guided by Maharishi, as well as the book One Unbounded Ocean of Consciousness, are being implemented now in 1,300 universities and 10,000 schools to reach an initial 10 million students to practice Maharishi's technologies of consciousness. In addition, 5 top universities of India have established Dr. Tony Nader chairs of Maharishi Vedic science, which will gradually reach through the facilities of this new educational policy all the student population of India. Honoring Minister Pokhriyalji is honoring Vedic India and the effect of Maharishi's Vedic science and technologies from India to the whole world. The minister is now preparing new positions in the government and is encouraging the continuation of all of this program through all the structures already established for it.
1.5 million of his followers today being asked to follow by Facebook this event. So he wants everyone in India to know that Maharajaji is bestowing him this very special medal, and he especially wants to see these programs implemented. His offering is this Veda for World Peace to happen everywhere in India and around the world. Structures, universities, schools, Vedic schools has been motivated to implement the program. Now we just have it to implement and create the effect, and he wants this to go to everywhere around the world as an homage of his life dedicated to Vedic culture that found fulfillment in Maheshi's knowledge and in the discovery of Dr. Tony Nether of Veda and human physiology. So in this context, we like to ask the representatives of Maharajaji, which they are there with him, with the Honorable Minister now, Dr. Alan Olskar, Purusha, Digvijay and Sweta, if they can present the medal to the Honorable Minister. Medal is coming there. Alan and Digvijay, yes, please. This is Alan Oscar, Purusha, presenting to the Honorable Minister on behalf of Maharajaji, Maheshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership.
Yes. It's such a joy to see this Medal of Enlightened Leadership presented to His Excellency. And we'd now like to ask the Maharshi Vedic Pundits again just to give their blessings on the award being presented to His Excellency. And then Maharaja will give his congratulations and thanks and reflections on the Honorable Minister of Education.
खड्गं चक्रगदेषु चापपरिगान् शूलम्बुशुण्डीं शिरः शङ्खं सन्ददतीं करस्त्रिनयनाम् सर्वाङ्गभूषावृताम् नीलाश्मद्युतिमस्य पाददशकाम् सेवे महाकालिकाम् यामास्तौ स्वपिते हरौ कमलजो हन्तुं मधुं कैटभम् आक्षासरक्बरशृङ्गदेषु कुलिशम् पद्मन्दनोस्कुण्डिकाम् दण्डं शक्तिमसिञ्च चर्मजलजम् घण्टां सुराभाजनम् शूलं पाशसुदर्शने च ददति हस्तै प्रसन्नाननाम् सेवे सैरेव मर्दिने मिहमः लक्ष्मीं सरोजस्थिताम्
Shri Pokhiral Nishank Ji just wanted to express to you from heart to heart our admiration of your greatness and that the path is just started. We look forward to its fulfillment. You represent education from the Vedic tradition, which is the highest value that can bring fulfillment to life. You have seen this, recognized this, you've written about it. You've been a hero of knowledge, and your name will shine forever in a glorious way in the destiny of mankind, going towards greater and greater fulfillment. We adore you, we honor you, and we look forward to working together to making life based on knowledge. That is total knowledge of life, true knowledge, knowledge of that which is within ourselves, consciousness, pure being, and its reality in bringing fulfillment, wholeness, and happiness to all life. The realization that suffering is not necessary, and we can together, with the knowledge that comes from Veda Bhumi Bharat, Deva Bhumi Bharat, that you have espoused and taken under your lap as a leader to bring to life perfection in every field. We wish you perfect health and the fulfillment of all your desires, as they are the desires of all the sages throughout time, to create happiness, health, peace, fullness, and expression of oneness everywhere. We honor you, and we are delighted to be in contact with you, to have you as a colleague, a friend in knowledge, and in making life on earth truly like life in heaven. All glory to you and to the Vedic tradition that has given us this knowledge of perfection. Jai Guru Dev.
And now it'll be a great delight for us to watch a very special video that His Excellency Dr. Pokhriyal has prepared, giving his remarks on receiving the Maharshi Medal today. So please, video, go ahead. Yes.
नमस्कार गुरु पूर्णिमा के इस महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित आदरणीय महाराजा डॉक्टर पुर्णिमा जी, आदरणीय डॉक्टर देवन मॉरिस जी, आदरणीय राजा लुईस जी
Honorable Raja Luis Ji
और महर्षि संस्थाओं के
and
पूरी दुनिया से
all the
एकत्रित
other
हुए
distinguished
सम्मानित
guests and
प्रतिनिधिगण,
all the
मैं आप
representative
सबको
of Maharishi
गुरु पूर्णिमा के इस
institutions
पावन
across
अवसर
the
पर
globe.
बहुत
I
बहुत बधाई और शुभकामना देना
I
चाहता
give
हूँ
my best wishes and
कि आप
congratulate
सब
you on the
वैदिक ज्ञान
auspicious
की
occasion of
गंगा
the Guru
बहाकर
Purnima.
संपूर्ण
At this
वैदिक ज्ञान
moment, as
को
the
मानवता की
flow of Vedic
रक्षा और
Ganga
कल्याण में
and how we are
अहरनिश जुटे हुए हैं।
protecting the Vedic
मैं आप
knowledge,
सबका अभिनंदन करना चाहता हूँ।
just to protect
इस
for
अवसर
Vedic
पर मैं
knowledge, I thankfully
संपूर्ण
welcome
विश्व
you
से
and I thank you all of you
110 से भी
for
अधिक
this
देशों
auspicious
से
activity.
आए सभी प्रतिनिधिगण का
And
देवभूमि उत्तराखंड,
for this
हिमालय और
activity,
वेदभूमि
I belong to
भारत से
Devbhumi
आप सबका
Uttarakhand. On
हार्दिक
that
स्वागत
behalf,
करता हूँ।
all the
इस
people from
अवसर
India,
पर
I welcome all of
महामहिम
you and congratulate
भेद
all of you.
मंगू पेस्टिका जी जो इंडोनेशिया
And
के सीनेटर तथा
Honorable
बाली के पूर्व
Med
गवर्नर रहे
Manguku
हैं,
Pestika,
माननीय
the
दीपक
former governor and
प्रकाश
the senator
बसकोटा
of
जी नेपाल के
Federation,
पूर्व
Dr.
गृह
Deepak
मंत्री और
Prakash Baskota
नेपाल
ji,
महर्षि
the
फाउंडेशन
former Home
और
Minister
वैदिक
of
कल्चर के
Nepal
अध्यक्ष हैं,
and the chairman
डॉक्टर
of
इमाम
the
उमर
Nepal
अहमद जी
Maharishi Vedic
जो मुखिया
Foundation,
इमाम
Dr.
अखिल
Imam
भारतीय इमाम
Umar
संगठन
Ahmad
के हैं,
Ilyasi, the
और
chief
डॉक्टर
imam, and
माचे
Dr.
जो बौद्ध
Mache,
नन संस्थापक और
both
थाईलैंड
nun
में
and the
जोखिम झेल
founder
रही लड़कियों के
of the wonderful
स्कूल के
school in
निदेशक
Thailand,
के रूप
who
में
is
बहुत महत्वपूर्ण
protecting
काम
the
कर रहे हैं,
many critical
और
girl
माननीय
child,
पाद्रे
and
रेवियल जी
Honorable Padre
जो
Gabriel
कोलंबिया में जोखिमों
Naya
से
ji,
जूझ रहे बच्चों के
you are doing
स्कूल
a
की
wonderful
स्थापना
work.
करके बहुत
Who is
महत्वपूर्ण काम कर रहे
protecting and
हैं।
who is
मैं
saving
आज जितने भी
the
अतिथि आए
children
हैं,
and
जितने भी
children who
पूरे
are
विश्व
under
में
the
इस
tremendous danger?
अभियान से जुड़े सबका अभिनंदन करता हूँ।
I
देवभूमि
welcome all
हिमालय
of you.
और
I
वेदभूमि
congratulate all
भारत
of
से
you who
आज
receive,
गुरु
who
पूर्णिमा
are
का
receiving this
महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम
medal.
है। भारत
Today
को
is the Guru
अवश्य गुरु
Purnima, a
कहा गया है।
special occasion.
भारत अवश्य गुरु,
We know that
भा
many people
माने
are
प्रकाश,
saying
औरत माने
Guru
जो उसमें
Vishnu
रत
Guru,
रहता है,
the leader of
प्रकाश
the
को
world.
करने में जो
When we say
लगातार
Bharat,
रत है,
in
संघर्ष
Hindi
रहते
we
हैं,
call India
क्रियाशील है,
Bharat.
वो है भारत। और
BA,
विश्व माने पूरा
Bha.
संसार,
Bha
और
means
गुरु
Prakash
माने प्रकाश देने वाला।
and Rat. It means
तो
who is
गुरु की महिमा
leading
वैसे
or
भी
who is
भारत
approaching
में बहुत
towards the
महत्वपूर्ण तरीके
light
से
known
दर्शाई
as the
गई है।
Bharat.
हमारे यहाँ कहा गया है,
And this is the
गुरु ब्रह्मा
how
गुरु
India
विष्णु
is
गुरु देवो
leading,
महेश्वरा
and India
गुरु
is the
साक्षात
torch
परम
bearer
ब्रह्म
of
तस्मै
knowledge.
श्री
And
गुरुवे
India, when we
अर्थात
say
गुरु ब्रह्मा है,
Guru
गुरु ही
Sakshat
विष्णु है,
Parabrahma,
गुरु ही
it
शंकर
means
है,
Guru
गुरु ही
is
साक्षात परम ब्रह्म
equivalent
है और
to the
सदगुरु
Almighty.
वही है और
Right?
इसलिए उसको
So
प्रणाम
in
करना चाहते
Indian
हैं।
tradition,
इतना ही नहीं तो गुरु को
we
ईश्वर
compare,
से श्रेष्ठ माना गया
we
है,
see our
क्योंकि
Guru as
गुरु ही ईश्वर
as
तक जाने का
compared to the God,
मार्ग
as the
बताता है।
Almighty.
हमारे यहाँ कहा
And
गया,
the Guru
कबीर ने
and
कहा
the
है
teacher
कि गुरु गोविंद
also
लोग खड़े,
shows us the
काकी
path
लागू पाए,
to take us
बलिहारी
to the
गुरु
God,
आपने
who take us
गोविंद
to the
दियो बताए।
enlightenment.
वो शिष्य को कोई किसी प्रकार का
So this
गुरु और भगवान
teacher
जो
and
दोनों एक साथ खड़े
student
हुए
relation is
पहले
very
किसकी चरण वंदना
auspicious
की,
in
उनमें
India.
किसी प्रकार की शंका नहीं, उसको
And
लगता है हे गुरु पहली चरण वंदना
doubt
तुम्हारे
that
चरणों में ही
the
होगी,
student
क्योंकि
is
तुम
more
नहीं
close
होते
to the
तो
Guru, to
फिर
the Guru
मुझे
heart, to
ईश्वर के
receive the
दर्शन नहीं होते,
highest
उन तक
knowledge.
मेरी पहुंच नहीं होती, इसलिए
So
ईश्वर तक
if I
पहुंचाने
will
वाला
not follow
गुरु
the
है।
Guru,
और
I
आज
will
ये
not reach
गुरु
to the
पूर्णिमा
God,
का
to
कार्यक्रम
reach
है
to the
और मुझे
enlightenment.
भरोसा है कि इस
And
गुरु
I
पूर्णिमा
have
के
a full
इस
faith
कार्यक्रम में
on this
आप
auspicious
सभी
occasion of the Guru
अपने
Purnima.
गुरु वंदना
We
को
all
करके
will
और
approach and we all will go towards the highest knowledge.
ईश्वर तक पहुंचने का आसानी से मिलता है।
And the teacher will show us the path to reach to the
महर्षि
God, to the highest value.
संपूर्ण विश्व के 110 से भी अधिक देशों के प्रतिनिधियों ने अपना
So more than
सबसे
110 representative of the school, 110 representative of the Maharishi organization gave me this honor, this auspicious medal. So I am very much thankful to all of them.
असाधारण उपलब्धि एवं उत्कृष्ट सेवा के लिए मुझे
And you offered me this medal for the highest activities, for the Vedic activities. So this is what I can say, like, I can say the maximum, thank you. and
सभी
the
आदरणीय
juries who have
दर्शकगणों
selected
को
me for this,
और इस
I'm very
श्रेष्ठ
much
मिशन
thankful
के
to you.
केंद्र बिंदु
And
जो विराजमान है महाराजा टोनी नाडर
the center
इस समय
point of the all activities of the Maharishi movement, Dr. Tony Nader, who is sitting in front of us, your presence is auspicious to us.
आपने मेरे जीवन मूल्यों पर आधारित
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for these beautiful remarks. And we'll be playing this and the full video that you sent on the Maharshi channel for everyone to enjoy all over the world. But we once again congratulate you on receiving the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership from Maharaja today. So the next distinguished leader to receive the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership is His Excellency Made Mangku Pastika of Bali. And I would now like to invite Raja Graham Lodge, the Raja of Invincible Bali, to introduce His Excellency Senator Pastika.
Jai Gurudev, it's my honor today as Co-Raja of Indonesia to introduce His Excellency Made Mangku Pastika, Senator of the Parliament of the United States of Indonesia and former Governor of Bali, as a recipient of the Maharishi Medal of Enlightened Leadership. His Excellency Made Mangku Pastika has given a life of service to his country. Serving initially with the police, he rose to the rank of a 3-star police general. He led the police investigation into the 2002 Bali bombings, and from this tragedy, his great skill was recognized by his people. This led to His Excellency Made Mangku Pastika becoming Governor of Bali for 2 5-year terms from 2008 to 2013. His love for his people resulted in 2011 in the creation of the Bali Mandara School. This school is solely for underprivileged children. All the study costs for board and education are covered by the government of Bali. His Excellency Made Mangku Pastika wants to create future leaders from the school and allow them to make their dreams come true. This is the pilot school for the Education for World Peace project. Since starting TM and to TM cities, this school has won many awards and competitions at local, national, and international level, where before they seldom competed even at local level. And this culminated in 2017 with the school being crowned the best school with best principal in all of Indonesia. In 2015, he created a second technical school next door, and both schools fully implemented the TM and TM City program. With the pandemic slowdown, there are now 4,000 meditators and 600 sittars attending these schools, but to date, over 11,000 students and more than 2,500 sittars have been instructed in the Education for World Peace project, all of which was inspired initially by His Excellency Made Mangku Pastika. In 2016, His Excellency hosted Maharajji at an Education for Peace conference attended by over 250 principals and teachers from Bali. The conference was a great success and resulted in the TM and TM City program being requested at over 200 schools in Bali. In 2018, His Excellency Mare Mangupastika created a private school which now has over 300 students, all practicing transcendental meditation. His Excellency Mare Mangupastika has always served his people, and in accepting the Maharishi Medal of Enlightened Leadership, he simply said, quotes, "Being a public official gave me an opportunity to do good for as many people as possible in the shortest time possible. Therefore, during my serving as Governor of Bali and currently as a member of DPD-IR, I always try to base every policy and action I take on Dharma and how it will make a good impact on society and country." End quote. There's also a beautiful quote from Shankara that is very applicable to His Excellency Mare Mangupastika. Quotes, "There are saints, calm and great, who bring good to others, quietly and unasked, as does the spring. They have already crossed the ocean of life themselves and help others to cross it spontaneously and without any motive." End quote. And he was often quoted in news media and on television saying the solution to Bali's education problems is yogic flying. He is a fearless champion of consciousness, and we now ask YNG, our Head of Education for World Peace Project in Bali, to make the award of Maharishi Medal of Enlightened Leadership. Jai Gurudev.
So now we'd like to see His Excellency in Bali. And as Raja Graham said, the Governor of the Age of Enlightenment for Bali, yes, beautiful, I.Y.N. Sutrishna, who is head of the Invincible Bali School Project, is presenting the medal to His Excellency. And I'd like to invite Maharaja to give his remarks and reflections on His Excellency receiving the medal today.
Your Excellency, I never forget the story you told me when we met. His Excellency Made Mangupastika, when he was a child, children would run around and they had different activities and plays, and he would hide and open the Ramayana to read it. So this is a child born for enlightenment and for enlightening the world, because the Ramayana is the story of Ram, of wholeness, of Brahm, of totality. And to be so innocently, spontaneously attracted by that knowledge and by that story must mean that there has been life after life before that has prepared this exceptional individual to great leadership, which we witness today, that we honor, and that we see happening through his vision and ability to move everything to give the best to his people and to lead the world as an example from the people of Bali and the entire Indonesia towards greatness and fullness by using this perfect knowledge of introspection, not only on the intellectual level, but on the actual direct experience of the true self within, which enlivens all other aspects on the outside. Your Excellency, I cherish these few moments we spent together, and it's our great honor to see you become a greater and greater leader on the physical level of politics and other aspects of life, and the greatest leader also in the perspective of knowledge and true value of wholeness of life to create perfection for every individual and invincibility for society. All glory to you and all your achievements, and glory to the tradition that has given us this knowledge. Jai Gurudev.
Now it would be a very great joy to invite Senator Pastika to give us his remarks on receiving the medal, and then ask the Maharshi Vedic Pundits at the end to give their blessings to our dear His Excellency, Senator Made Manku Pastika.
Om Swastiastu. Om Anubadrah Krato Wianto Wiswata. Your Holiness Maharaja Adiraj Ram Ram, Excellencies, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my greatest honor and grateful to accept the Maharishi Medal of Enlightened Leadership. For me, this medal is not just a medal or a prize, but it is a reminder to always try my best to be helpful and useful for more number of people, especially who are in need and living in poverty. During these times, very hard times, especially COVID-19 pandemic, I do believe that consciousness is the key to lead us, to lead all of us to the life, a better life. It is a reminder that also leading me to be more helpful and useful. I do believe that consciousness is the key to lead all of us to a better life. It is to rise our self-consciousness and awareness to each other and to keep better relation each other, and also for the environment to get out from this storm. Lastly, I strongly support global country of world peace and ask to keep finding leaders all over the world and remind them that their role as a leader is very important to make other people a better person, therefore a better world to live. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May God bless us all. Thank you.
खड्गं चक्रगदेषु चापपरिघाम् शूलं भुसुण्डीं शिरा शङ्खं सन्ददतीं करे स्त्रीनयना सर्वाङ्गभूषावृताम् नीलास्मद्युतिमास्य पाददशकाम् सेवे महाकालिकाम् यामस्तौत्स्वपिते हरौ कमलजो हन्तुं मधुं कैटभम् आक्षासरक्परशुं गदेषु कुलिशम् पद्मं धनुष्कुण्डिकाम् दण्डं शक्तिमसिञ्च चर्मजलजम् घण्टां सुराभाजनम् शूलं पाशसुदर्शने च दधति हस्ते प्रसन्नाननाम् सेवे शैरिवमर्दिनीमिहमः लक्ष्मीं सरोजस्थिताम्
With these blessings of the Maharshi Vedic Pandits, we once again want to congratulate His Excellency Senator Made Manku Pastika on his receiving the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership. The next distinguished leader to receive the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership today is His Excellency Dr. Deepak Prakash Baskota of Nepal. And I would now like to invite Raja Kingsley Brooks, the Raja of Invincible Nepal, to introduce Dr. Baskota.
Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev.
Yes.
Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev. Maharaja, it is my great honor and joy today to participate in this auspicious awarding of the Maharshi Medal of Enlightened Leadership. I'd like to invite everyone to watch a brief video about Deepak Prakash Baskota. I've worked over the past 10 years with Deepak, and it has been one of the greatest gifts that have been given to me to work with such an enlightened individual. So now if video could play this brief video about Deepak.
It all began 74 years ago in the far eastern district of Nepal at the foothills of the world's third tallest peak, Kanchenjunga, the home of Nepal Orthodox or traditional tea. Deepak Prakash Baskota was born in an area where farming and tea picking were back-breaking work. Deepak realized as a young man that he could lessen the burden of the farmers by bringing water in a pipe rather than carrying it on one's back. He also spearheaded Nepal's cooperative movement, allowing small farmers access to larger markets, increased revenues, and more jobs, especially for women. This work caught the attention of the King of Nepal, who appreciated Deepak's efforts to support the small Nepali farmer. The agricultural cooperative model used by Deepak on his tea estate expanded rapidly over the years, and Deepak was called the father of the cooperative movement. For the next 40 years, Deepak held numerous national and international positions, some of which are listed below in brief. In 1996, Deepak met Maharishi Mahesh Yogi here at our Meru campus and agreed, at Maharishi's request, to implement Maharishi's 12-point action plan to revitalize Nepal through Maharishi's Vedic technologies. Since then, Deepak has been supporting and managing all aspects of Maharishi's programs for the enlightenment of Nepal. He is the founding chairman of Nepal Maharshi Vedic Foundation, which manages the teaching of transcendental meditation throughout Nepal. He's the founding chairman of Nepal Maharishi Foundation for Vedic Culture, which oversees all of the Maharshi's Vedic Pundit programs. Deepak also helped found Maharshi Vedic Institute, which built the new Maharshi Vastu Pundit campus to house 400 Pundits. For the past 7 years, Nepal's Maharshi Vedic Pundits have been performing the daily Rudrabhishek Yagya. For 2 of those years, it was an Ati Rudrabhishek Yagya with 1,331 Maharshi Pundits, performing this global Yagya for peace and prosperity. Soon again, this Ati Rudrabhishek Yagya will commence. Dr. Baskota received an honorary PhD from Maharishi International University in June 2019 for his work in promoting Maharishi's Vedic programs throughout Nepal. Dr. Baskota has lived his life on the highest level of honesty and integrity. He listens to people with an open heart and mind. He never says no to anyone, but instead he gives a simple reply, "We'll see." It says in the Bhagavad Gita, quote, "The man in unity consciousness lives for the welfare of others," end quote. This has been the life of Deepak Baskota in a natural, easy, and dignified way. And now his 8 children